The holiday season is very much associated with excess and consumerism. However, it is possible to celebrate Christmas in a mindful, more minimalist way by focusing on experiences, meaningful gifts, and simple pleasures. You can create a truly memorable Christmas without the stress and the clutter. So let's plan a perfect minimalist Christmas. Hi, my name's Rachel. I do videos about decluttering, minimalism, and my no spend year. And I have recently shared a way of tackling Christmas as a minimalist in a previous video, so I'll leave a link up there and down below. In particular, I want to talk to you about how we can plan the perfect Christmas, and by that I mean the perfect Christmas for you and your family. It's not about doing the same as everybody else, it's finding what works for you, what you enjoy, what you want. And so we're going to talk through how you can plan for that perfect Christmas. So let's first talk about gift planning. Less is more. You want to set yourself a budget. This is a really key, important one, especially if you're thinking about teenagers as well, because they can become more costly than the little ones. But set yourself a budget per child or per person and make sure that that is realistic. Add that up all together and just see whether or not that is something that is achievable, whether or not that is something that you are okay with, or do you need to reduce down and set a more realistic budget. This will help you avoid that overspending and those impulse purchases. If you know you've got a budget per person, then you're less likely to be splashing out on the random bits and pieces that you come across. You also want to consider experiences over things. Do they enjoy going to theatre or to music events, music concerts? Think about things that they would enjoy, that they would like, or perhaps they've asked for, and look at those experiences rather than things that are going to clutter up your home. It could also be day trips somewhere, it could be a membership to a place, or it could be things like cookery classes or pottery classes, something that is giving an experience and an activity rather than a thing. If you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and press like and subscribe. And I share lots of different videos about decluttering and minimalism and my no spend year. So if that's of interest, then do hit subscribe and you'll be notified, especially if you press the bell, as to when I upload my next video. Now think about thoughtful gifts. Ask what they would like. Is there something that they are particularly asking for? Maybe you might want to consider handmade items or gifts that are locally sourced, or maybe you might want personalised items or donations to a charity perhaps. These ones can be meaningful and practical. Finally, you want to prioritise those needs versus the wants. So what is it that would be really practical and really useful for that person? Is it that they are always cold and actually they don't have that many jumpers? Could you get them a jumper or scarf or gloves? Something that is going to be useful, that they actually need, rather than just something that they want. Think about things that are practical, like kitchen gadgets. Those are things that are actually going to serve a purpose and they will be more helpful and more useful than you think. Now let's talk about creating meaningful Christmas experiences. So here is a list of experiences that are related to Christmas that you might want to consider as a family as to which items that you really like and feel are worthwhile and you enjoy versus which experiences you think are not going to be your family's cup of tea, and so ones that you are happy to miss out on. And within this, you might want to consider whether or not these are activities you want to plan or whether or not these are more ad hoc, kind of pick and choose on the day kind of activities. So there are some that will work for that, and there are some that will need to be more structured. And one idea is that you could maybe all write your favourite activities to do, like go for a walk, etc., and put them in a jar, and perhaps you just cherry pick out an activity to do as a family. So you've all kind of contributed to your favourite things, and you can just keep picking one out and putting them back. So here are some more ad hoc kind of general activities to do over the Christmas period. So first of all, you might want to think about any family traditions that you have, or maybe new ones that you would like to start. So for example, it could be that you always do a particular walk on Christmas Day, or maybe you do the Christmas Day swim, or maybe you want to start a new tradition. Maybe you want to do Christmas Eve boxes, or maybe you want to do a specific thing on a specific day. You decide what your tradition is going to be and what you want it to be as a family, and then that is your thing. So that is something that you will then prioritise. So some ideas around that could be decorating the tree together. It could be watching Christmas movies on a particular night, maybe on Christmas Eve. It could be making gifts, or it could be baking cookies or cakes or something like that. Decide what it is that you think would be nice traditions to do on a yearly basis. Another ad hoc activity is nature walks. So thinking about local areas around you that you could just nip out for an afternoon stroll or an afternoon walk or a little hike. Think of areas that you guys enjoy that are easy access that you could go and enjoy. You could also consider volunteer work. Is that something that's important to you, that you all volunteer together, or that some of you do, or you do it as a family? Think about how that would work and see where you would like to volunteer around the Christmas period. Another activity is board games night. So this could be done whenever. You could just decide that that is something that you want to do a bit more of over the winter season and make sure that you've got the games that you like, or is it a new tradition that you want to have a new game each year that you play or that you try out? And you also might want to consider cozy night-ins. So like watching a film together or having hot chocolate together. What is it that you would like to do together as a cozy night? Is it certain days that you want to do it, or do you want to do it randomly depending on the weather? Those are other things that you can put as your random activities that you can do as and when. Now let's talk about those more structured Christmas experiences. As we go through the list, consider whether or not that's something that you guys want to do as a family that you find important, or whether or not it's something that actually is not kind of your cup of tea, or maybe your children have outgrown it. So you can decide which ones are the selection you want to value and which ones you don't. So first up is a Santa visit. Where have you been before? Which ones have you enjoyed? And which ones have given you the best value for your experience? And do you need to do multiple, or could you just do one? Who goes? Is it with grandparents? Is it something that you just do? Decide whether or not that is something that is of value to you. Next up is late night shopping or light switch on events. This is usually a free event, but obviously if you're going late night shopping, then it's going to be a gift buying experience. Is that something that you enjoy doing together, or is it something that is too busy that you don't like? Maybe you just want to do a late night casual shop without the big light switch on, so it's not so busy. Think about what it is that you do and don't want with regards to that. And the same goes for a Christmas market visit. Do you want to do it in the daytime where it's a bit more quiet, or do you want to do it in the evening where it's a bit busier and it has that more atmospheric feel? Is that something you like doing, or do you find that it's too much for you guys? And what is it that you value out of that? Is it the food? Is it having some random food when you're out and trying different things, or is it the gift buying of local business gifts, etc.? What is it that you value the most? And one thing that I do within a Christmas market visit is we buy one decoration a year, and we usually go to a market because we want something that's handmade or locally made, and we just buy one Christmas tree decoration and we just add that to our collection. So we don't really buy much each year, but we just buy that one little thing, that new thing that kind of joins us. You might also want to consider like illuminations or Christmas lights that happen. Sometimes local venues or local castles, etc., have light displays. Is that something you want to do with family? Is it a friendship thing that you do? I tend to go with a friend and we have a look at that together, and we go every year. We go to the same place, and it's just nice though that that's our little tradition that we do. Christmas gifts or wreath making, is that something that you'd like to do together as a family? Is it a way of you kind of bonding and creating maybe gifts for other people, maybe other family members? You can make things together. Is that something that you think is a worthwhile experience, or do you find that you don't really make the things as well as you like? So decide if that's something that is of interest to you. It could be that you go to a particularly structured event, or you could get the resources in and do it yourself. Another one to consider is a Christmas concert. There's usually local orchestras or bands that will play locally, and they'll do like Christmas themed Concerts, so see if there's anything local. They might just be free, or they might just be a small amount of money, or maybe your local cathedral or church is doing a little concert. So have a look and see what is around and see if that's something that you guys would enjoy. Another idea to consider is a pantomime, whether or not you want to do that as a tradition. A pantomime is a great way of having a bit of fun, and you can sometimes get involved. Your children might be able to go up and be involved in the pantomime. It just might be something that is just getting out of the house, but in a covered space where it doesn't matter what the weather is like. So it just gets you guys out and together as a family. So have a look and see if there's anything on locally to you that you might enjoy, and decide whether or not that's something that you would be interested in. Another one to consider is family get-togethers. Is that something that you do in your family? My family don't tend to do get-togethers over Christmas. We're just not a big family, so we just don't. But other people do. So is that something that you want to continue? Is that something you enjoy? Do you want to host it, or do you just like going to hosted events? So decide if that's something that you could schedule into your experiences. And another fun one is a secret Santa. This might be good if you've got like a reasonable sized family. It could just be a little bit of fun. It could be that you set a budget and maybe it's £5, maybe it's £20, but it might just be a fun way to kind of make Christmas more interesting without the pressure of having to buy for everyone. And it's just a little bit different and just a little bit more engaging, and you've got the joy of finding the product and the item that they might like, and the experience of when they open it and their reaction. So that might be a fun way of creating a new tradition within your family. What I do want to talk about is that guilt of feeling like you're not doing enough. So although I've shared a list of lots of different things, doing all of that is not realistic, and I don't do all of those things. I might do some one year and I might do others another year. I don't do all of them all the time. So think about what is working for you now, what you think you might enjoy this year, and decide together as a family which things are most important, and don't feel guilty that you're not doing everything. If you're making that decision together as a family, it takes away some of that guilt, because actually you still planned things, you've still got experiences in place, you've got that joy of the season coming up, but it's been planned by everybody. So there's no guilt on anybody for not doing enough. You've all made that decision together. And you also want to factor in self-care. So practice self-care. Have those days where you're just sat chilling and having those cozy nights, or those cozy days, the duvet days, where you're just watching a film for the whole day. Like, that's still lovely time together, and it's still valuable. So, and self-care is just as important as getting out and doing stuff. And let go of that idea of it being perfect. It's not about being perfect for everybody, it's about being perfect for you. And it's about having experiences and a holiday season that represents what you and your family want. So it's not about perfection, it's just about enjoying it and being present in the moment and getting that kind of energy from the holidays. There are also some cheap and cheerful activities that you can do over Christmas. You can do art together, you can do crafts together, you could make gifts. Handmade gifts are a lovely idea, especially with little ones, of like pictures, etc., that you could give. You also might want to do like a bring and share dinner, or a lunch, or a get together where everybody just brings something, and so there's not the pressure of hosting as it would normally be, of providing all the food. You're working together to create that moment, that experience together. So bring and share is a great way of doing that. And there will be lots of free and community events like carol singing together. I know that my local area do that. So have a look out on your local community Facebook pages and see what things are going on around you, whether or not that's something you want to participate in. And obviously nature walks are free. You can get somewhere nearby and go for a walk together and just enjoy the winter scenery. By planning your perfect Christmas, you're thinking about what works for you and your family, and you're taking away that stress, that extra clutter, and just making it an experience and allowing you to be more in the moment, more present for the holiday period. And don't forget, I do lots of videos about decluttering, minimalism, and my no spend year, so don't forget to click subscribe and press like, comment and share, and I will be back for more videos soon. Take care, bye. And if you've got to the end of the video, comment below with your favourite Christmas activity. I would love to know.